Well, it was a good football game. We came up a field goal short, and really, as you look back at it, that was the difference in the game. We both had field goals from about the same area of the field, going the same direction, and both scored touchdowns late in the same area of the field, under the goalpost, and then looking at the stats, it was a very competitive football game. So, obviously disappointed, but in a lot of regards, it was a pretty well played game both sides. There weren't a lot of turnovers, and it was a pretty clean game. But tough loss for our guys, but they'll bounce back. And we've got a big one next week right back here at the Rock, so we'll be back at it tomorrow, ready to go. Questions?
Coach, it seemed like that huge 97-yard drive at the end of the
first half?
Yeah. That seemed to take a lot of momentum. But Northwestern came right back, and they went all that for the field goal. And it seemed like IU might have came out on their heels a little bit in the second half. Would you say that drive affected momentum at all?
No. I think they're a good football team, and they put together a nice drive at the end of the half. And really, it was kind of a broken play. Well, that's what Persa does to you, because he can run around. We were in coverage, and then we got out of coverage because he was running around so long, and so they got the ball down in field position. And it's close. It's a game of seconds. The clock could have run out. He went down with 1 second to go. But that's all part of it. But I thought our kids were alive at halftime. They came out, and Northwestern's a good football team. We knew that. But it was a competitive game, much like we thought it was going to be.
Bill, and Ben's been so accurate all year long. So when he isn't accurate like he was today, I mean, it really stands out. Did you feel like he was missing throws? I
don't know. One, it was windy down there, and not just going into the wind and with the wind. It was kind of swirling, so the wind had a bearing on it. And the other thing is, they're pretty good. I mean, they're in coverage, and they've been, particularly in third down, they have a really good third down package, and I think they were only giving up 30% of, I mean, they were conversion. Defensive conversion was going into the game was very good, so we knew it was going to be tough to get in those situations, but I have to go back and look at it. But same thing. I mean, he threw for 308 yards and take some shots, and that's what happened at the end. Probably late, when not that we were running the ball very well, but at least when you could mix and run, it certainly helps the pass rush. But then they were able to lay their ears back, and he took some shots there at the end.
Coach, into the first half on the scoring drive, the Chapel to Wilson, that 16-yard pass setup, Ben's 5-yard run. That play, and then also the touchdown play from Ben to Wilson right there at the end of the ball.
Yeah, Deweese is getting better. And the one in the first half was a broken play, much like the broken play they had. And Ben kind of broke containment, ran out, and Deweese stayed alive, and what we call a scramble drill, and he was able to make a nice catch on the boundary. And then the last one, was a great play, and pretty good throw in there, and to hold on to it. So, but he's getting better. He works at it.
Let's talk about the read play. Do you like seeing your quarterback run that often as he did today?
Well, we ran a few times. We were hoping we'd have a little more success. But when you're in that formation, that's one of the plays that is available to you. And, but it didn't have a lot of success today. But we're not afraid for him to. Most of them were in short yardage situations where we were trying to pick up maybe 3rd and 2 or something like that. Obviously, it's not a big part of it, but it's certainly something that we'll use.
What did go into the two decisions? There were 2 third-down plays where you called quarterback runs to Ben, obviously the first red zone drive in the first half, and then later on we were trying to pick up 3rd and 2. So what made you guys decide to go with that one, and how did
because what we saw in practice all week and on tape that we thought they'd be there. The one on the goal line we practiced all week and we thought it'd be good, and we didn't execute very well. The other one, that was just part of our third down package and 3rd and short. So that we thought looked good in practice, looked good on tape. We just didn't execute today.
What did you see from their defense that made you think it was going to be there? Is there stuff that they show that?
No, but in the spread offense, the quarterback's the unaccounted for guy. That's why everybody in America runs it. And we're going to use it. We were going to use it a whole lot early in the year because you can only take so many hits. But if it's there, we're certainly not afraid to use it.
You had another problem in the punting game.
Yeah, that was didn't hurt us, but it was guy went right over our block. I mean, our blocker is right there. That's just a matter of executing. We're probably late, probably a little slow getting it off. I don't know what the time was.
Do you guys need to establish more of a traditional run game? Or trying to get the ball 8 times today?
Well, it depends on who you're playing. Certainly you can look at it from a statistical standpoint. You'd like to run the ball better, but some of it is the team you're playing and how they're playing. I'm not second guessing anything we did. I'd like to have a couple of plays back, but that's part of it. They made a couple and we did. We almost had one of those where Doss went up and bounced around and he's laying on the ground. You don't want one of those that you end up getting the ball on the 1 yard line. I'd like to have one of those back, but sometimes it's got to fall your way. I don't second guess what we did on either side of the ball. It was a great football game. We came up 3 points short.
You said the kids will bounce back. I mean,
Yeah.
do you worry about confidence, morale in a situation?
Not at all. Not at all. I've been with those kids a long time and just left them. Not at all.
Coach, Greg Heaven, name that came up quite a bit today. For somebody that hasn't played a whole lot.
Great success story.
Yeah.
He really is. And he started playing on special teams 3 or 4, I don't know how many weeks ago. But I really think that he's a good football player. He's a good athlete, and he played very well. He's on all special teams. Played, I think, every defensive snap. Made a lot of tackles. Had some breakouts. He's a good player.
Coach, how does a reversal affect coaching staff, the players? Like Greg, we thought the fumble was overturned by the official. They
Yeah.
went on for a scoring drive and put some points on the
It's
board.
part of it. And I thought our kids did a good job today of they just kept playing. And, the sideline was alive. And, we just, if you had a couple things back, wish we could have stopped their run a couple times there in the last 5 minutes so we didn't, get so out of time. Anytime you leave it up to an onside kick, that's a pretty iffy thing, But I'm not second guessing the plan, the effort, the preparation. We came up 3 points short.
Coach, you talked a lot about the improvement of the defense as the season's gone on. Is this the best defensive team you've seen your team play?
I think they played pretty well each week. A week ago the points got out of hand and it wasn't their fault. And they're going to get better. We have 4 more games. They got 4 more chances to play. So I think they'll continue to get better.
So can you talk about with the Vogel brothers?
Yeah.
The defense?
Good players. Both of them are very, very good players. And Tyler's become a tremendous leader for us. And Adam Will and Time, he's only a sophomore, but they're both what you're looking for in football players. Very proud of them.
Bill, 5 penalties, but 2 of them pretty costly.
Yeah.
The false start on 3rd and 2, and obviously Mincer's face mask.
Yeah. Well, Mincer's face mask, shoot, man. He's chasing that little guy around, and he's doing everything he can. You can't, that's one of those, I'm not going to get on him about that. That's an effort play with a little guy squirming around that person's pretty good at. And then, you don't want to jump off sides.
Last question.
Darius
Johnson had
Yeah.
a good game. It seemed like
He's becoming a very good player. He's it's taken a while for him to get in there because he missed last year with an injury. And then, he came here as a linebacker and we moved him there last year, but he missed it really because of an injury. But we saw him coming, and then he missed some early with a hamstring, and now that he's healthy, he'll continue to get better as well.
You talk about the throw, the backup quarterback came in and made.
Yeah, that's big time. We had good coverage, and for a kid to come in and make that throw, at some point you got to shake his hand and say, good job. And that's kind of how, because it wasn't like we were out of coverage or anything, but he put it on the money.